is the founder of Success is Within Leadership, a breakthrough concept that is empowering individuals to perform their best and helping organizations to grow exponentially. So, welcome, hearty welcome to you, Payal. Happy to have you back on the JKYog stage. And we look forward to hear your journey, understand more on how can women be successful in life. I do have a few questions for you, and I'm sure this conversation will help audience gain a lot of insights about your corporate career and how you helped transform other people's careers as well. So welcome on board. And before I get started with you, I just want to let the audience know that you can also type in your questions in the chat box. And if you wish to interact live with Payal, then please feel free to raise your hand on Zoom. Right. So Payal, a few words from you, and then we can get started.
Thank you so much, Rachna. Rachna, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so thank you so much to Swamiji and Rachna, to you and the entire JKYog team for organizing this wonderful event on the occasion of International Women's Day. And a very, very good morning to all of you who have joined in today. I think, Rachna, as we stepped into this week of Women's Day, there was a very great news that appeared in the Times of India that stated, of how 39% of the Indian companies have women as CXOs and in leadership position. So I am really excited for our time together, and not just for today, but even in the future with JKYog and with everyone who has joined in. I must say Swamiji spoke so well about the women and how we can all succeed, and I was in awe of all the stories that he shared. So thank you, Rachna, and I hand it over to you for the questions. I am so excited to talk to you, Rachna.
Thank you, Payal. So we'll get started in the interest of time. Can you tell us, can you elaborate about how you got into the business of coaching and speaking and book writing? We just want to know your journey.
That's a lovely question, Rachna. I would say that everything begins with the foundation of where you come from. So I come from a very loving family. My mother has an education in psychology and my father in engineering. So with this, you can gauge that education is of highest importance, has always been of highest importance in my family. And how I got into doing what I am doing is, there's a backstory to it. So I'll share that for our audience. So, I moved to America. I moved to America in the year of 2000. And, when I was going there, almost everyone was telling me that, hey, Payal, you are stepping into a land of opportunities. You are stepping into a place, into a country where everyone is very successful. So anyways, I was excited and, I took the move and everything. And when I was there, when I was working in corporate America and in different places there, I started to notice that, there are so many people, in fact, majority of the people in their jobs, in their businesses, they are stuck in the middle, in the mid-level management. There are so many people who want to get into great jobs, but they are not able to. So, the problem was existing. And I started to research a little more onto all of that. And then I started to see that this problem is actually global. It's not just in America or in India. It's a global problem where people are working very hard. They are putting in a lot of efforts for them, for their growth. But at the same time, they are not finding themselves reaching to where they want to reach. And I saw that there is a big gap, a huge white gap, Rachna, between people who are successful. Those 10 to 15% of the people that you and we would see in the magazines, in the business world, and we say, oh wow, they are so great, they are lucky, or wow, they are so amazing, they are just blessed to do what they are doing. and we feel, oh, you know what, I wish I also had that in me, I wish I could also achieve something big. And that gap kept, made me feel that there is something really missing. So I started to see this as a huge problem in our corporate, in our business world. And that's how I started to work on, what's missing. We did research, and then slowly I started to move out of the corporate life, and get into what I'm doing. And in fact, I would tell you something, even today, I'm working with a very deep sense of purpose to solve a bigger problem now, of how to get, India on the leadership map, how we can have a lot more world class leaders in India who are looked upon with greatness. And for this purpose, I think, I'm always wanting to help, always wanting to evolve. And that's how where the journey began. But Rachna, here's something I would really like to add. When I arrived, in the United States from India, I will be very honest, I never ever dared to think, as a South Asian immigrant woman, that I would be known as one of the, women from Indian descent to be in the field of leadership speaking in a white male dominated country. So that's the entire backstory, that from where all of this started.
Okay, that's that's really wonderful to hear, Payal. The fact, I mean, your courage and the fact that you finally made it where you dreamt high and you made it, and the fact that you're working with a deep sense of purpose. I think that is a key takeaway for all of us. To find this sense of purpose in our own lives, in our own professions. It's a very deep, impactful thought. So thank you so much for that, Payal. And we would also love to know, in this journey, you moved from India to US, and then seek some, you saw some opportunities in what you were doing, and then you moved on to this leadership coaching profession. So, what were the challenges that you experienced as a woman? Like you experienced these challenges in your overall career?
Yeah, Rachna, definitely. I think challenges, I don't think any, whether it's a man or a woman, any of our lives are without challenges. But yeah, I do feel that women do have a separate set of challenges. And for one, women roles are often stereotyped. So I'll give you an incident. 23 years back, when I started to work in, it was the hotel and management industry, completely male dominated. So, seeing a woman as the head of an HR department was like someone is walking on the moon, right? Like, I don't know what you saw. And even today, it hasn't changed much. It has changed. We've made significant moves to where we are going. But I'll tell you, it hasn't changed the way it should be changing, because just think about it. Just a few years back, people were finding it so hard to believe that a woman from an Indian descent would be in this field of leadership speaking and coaching and book writing in a white male dominated society, because typically we see women doing jobs which where they can balance out their careers and their home. A lot of women, they decide to choose how they can work so that they can be at home, they can take care of everything, as well as be in the jobs outside. So I think, for one, it's the stereotypes that we go through. The other challenge that I see is, like, while men are rewarded for displaying leadership traits, like achievements and power and ambition, or speaking out boldly, or speaking out their views. On the same side, I see, on the other hand, that women are condemned and criticized for the exact same things, right? So just think about it, when a girl or a woman, anything, when they are expressing their views, or they are very bold in their views, or they would just talk out what they want, you will often hear people, especially in the house, they would say, oh my God, she's so bossy. And I think that makes the woman feel, or the girl feel, oh my God, I'm bossy. That's a negative trait. In fact, that's the trait we want to develop, in each of us as we are moving ahead. So I see that there is this, line of differentiation that women are told more to focus on their home and family, which is great, which has to be there, because that's something I always believe universe has created, our own responsibilities. But at the same time, I feel just like a man is ambitious, a woman is also ambitious, so we really can't distinguish over there. And the third biggest challenge, I would say, I would tell you three. So the third biggest challenge I really faced was my own self. And I'll be very honest here, believing that I can do what I wanted to do took me many, many years. And the day I believed in myself and in what I had to offer to the world at large, I'll tell you, Rachna, everything changed, from that on. In fact, my father would always tell me that there are that the wall that the people build against you, like criticism or trying to pull you down or telling you that you're not good enough, is actually in reality a weak wall. It's not strong and it can be broken down. But the wall that you build inside yourself is a very strong wall, because you're building it, it's from your heart, you're building it from your soul, you're building it from your mind. So whatever you're telling yourself is the biggest and the strongest wall that you can ever build. So he would always say that build that wall very carefully, with the things that will help you rather than destroy you. So I think in my own life, these are the challenges that I have overcome many times. And something I want to add here, Rachna, is that just while you and I talk, I'm also looking at the chat boxes. So if whatever I am saying, if anyone here has experienced it as a person, if you have also gone through it in your life, please write a yes in the chat box. It will tell me that I am not alone and we are having a dialogue here. So to all the participants, if anything I am saying is resonating with you, you are strongly believing in it and you've experienced it, or you want to break through it, keep that yes coming. It will be a great conversation between all of us.
It's a yes from me. Yes, and
Yeah,
we
I'm seeing it in the chat box. Yeah.
and yeah, we are having the audience also echo a lot of your thoughts, Payal. I think it was very, again, again, a very profound set of challenges that you mentioned about stereotyping, not just at office, but also at home, and then getting condemned for displaying a culture of courage, right? And like the words of wisdom that your father gave you on how we build walls within ourselves against ourselves, they are far stronger than what anybody external does. I think that's very, very true, very, very true. So uh, you mentioned about these challenges, and a lot of people are echoing these thoughts. Why do you think women struggle to achieve their goals, whether it is in at the home front or in the office front?
Oh yeah, I love this question. In fact, let me ask the audience who are here today with us, Rachna, that give me a yes in the chat box if you, as a person, man or a woman, you have some goals that you want to achieve in your life. Can I see that in the chat box? Just give me a yes if you have some goals that you really want to achieve. Okay, that's super. Okay. Okay, so looking at the chat box and these ASCS coming in, it reminds me of something. I'll share this very true life incidents of my own life. So, I think it was that evening of February in the year 2007, when so much things began to change in my life. It was the very early years of me setting up what I am doing today. And I was walking down the New York streets, and it was a very windy and chilly evening. And I was going through something like you called a career crisis, right? Not like a midlife career crisis, but just like a career crisis. And I was feeling dejected about the lack of my own accomplishments, right? So every now and then over the past few years, I had been hearing news about friends and people, with whom I went to school with. Some of them had gone to have fascinating careers. Some of them became world-renowned authorities in the field, in their field, and some of them just had made a fortune, and they just all seemed as if they've just achieved what they have to achieve. And I remember walking down that street all alone, murmuring, to myself, and I muttered to myself very, very sadly, saying, I wish I could be great. And then immediately there was a voice inside of me that said, okay, then be great. And then I answered back to that voice saying that, no, I just wish I could do something great, like how these successful people are. And then the voice repeated saying, okay, then be great like those successful people. And I didn't stop. I again, started to argue as if, and I said, no, you don't understand what I'm trying to say. I want to be someone who can make a difference in the world, can do something for people. And immediately the voice said, okay, then do what great people do, and do what it takes to make a difference. And that voice kept on, having that back and forth for dialogue. And I remember the end statement where I had said, I really, really want to make a difference in the world. I want to do something where people become successful and they benefit. And again, that voice said, okay, then go ahead and do what great people do and make people successful in their life. And that's the time I began to slow down. I stopped, and immediately in that murmuring, I asked, okay, so, who are you? Who's talking to me? And the voice said, I'm the person who actually made you to do great things and to do what you want to do. So stop thinking and go and act. And I remember walking down that street. It started to snow. I was shivering. I didn't realize it was snowing also. And I went home and I started to repeat that entire dialogue that happened within me. And from there on, I can always tell you that things began to change so much. And when I say this, I humbly say that the proof of it is that, success is within leadership, which we started to talk about. It began to, worldwide, it started to, attract corporates and leaders. People started to use techniques that we teach and that I teach and become successful in their career life. So everything changed. So the point of sharing this story, Rachna, with everyone, and again, I would like that yes coming if it resonates, that there is a voice inside of all of us that is roaring to be heard. Okay. And we have a responsibility to use that voice. Now, most of the women, and this is very, very true for women, most of the women, they neglect that voice. We brush it aside. Okay. So we have our goal, we have our dreams, we want to be something big. I was listening to all the wonderful questions that were being asked to Swamiji, and so many people said, I want to do this, I want to get that done. But we brush that voice aside, and then we allow the voice of others to play into our heads, and we think, okay, that's correct, what they are saying about me is correct. If my spouse says that, oh, you know what, it's foolishness to think so much ahead, and it's so foolish that you're dreaming so big, we begin to believe it, that, oh yeah. So I think as women, we have a tendency to ask the world and our community, our society, everyone, for permission to be great. Can I be amazing? Can I be beautiful? Can I be brilliant? Can I be a successful person? Can I do a business? Can I get into a job? And I say it's time that we stop asking permission from anyone. I mean, it's your goals, it's your dreams, it's come from inside of you, it's birthed from inside of you. So it's time to listen to that voice that is inside of you more than the voice that is outside of you. And this is a question for every one of us, and I see so many comments coming in, and I'm really happy for that. I want to ask this to everyone today who is listening here. When are you planning to stop asking permission from people and actually go ahead and and really have that clarity of what you want when it comes to your goals. When do you want to do that? Because each of us has the answer. I cannot give that answer. Yeah, so that's the reason I feel many of us get stuck in achieving what we want to achieve, Rachna.
Very, very true. So aptly said, Payal. And this, the fact that you spoke about this repeated positive dialogue that you had with your inner voice, and it sort of set the direction for you, and sort of set the direction for you to action, and gave you the sense of purpose, connected you with your sense of purpose. That was, this was a superb story, and I'm sure the kind of responses that I'm seeing in the chat window right now, people
Amazing,
are,
amazing responses,
yeah,
Rachna. So happy to see the audience so involved.
correct, correct. So everybody is somewhere or the other, they're toying with your thoughts. They connect with your story because they are also going through the same transformation. So, this session is really, really proving worthwhile for everybody.